Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is our beading needles. Now, beading needles come in different sizes. Their size is gauged from size 10 through size 15. 10 is thicker and 15 is thinner. Needles with a higher number are finer. Needle sizes, usually 10, 11, and 12, is usually shorter than the size 10s and stiffer. 13 through 15 are both really fine and good for going through your beadwork multiple times, which is what I prefer to do because when you're doing square stitch, you're going to run your needle back through there several times. Now, I actually purchased these needles at Walmart. You can get they're decent needles. These ones come in a pack of 9. There's 3 10s, 11s, and 12s. I find that the 12s are okay. I can go through my beadwork several times with the size 12s, but I prefer, the size 13 or higher, just because I really like that nice thin long needle. However, you can get these at Walmart, and that's what we're going to be using today, as I am going to be using the size 12. Okay, next we're going to talk about the beading thread. Now, the beading thread comes in sizes from O all the way up to F. The most common sizes, however, is D. D is actually the most common size. It'll fit through anything from size 8s through 11s and even 15s, depending on how many times you're going to be going. How many times you're going to be going back through your thread. Now, I got this from Crazy Crow, and I will put the link in the description for this. Is that focused? Come on, focus. There we go. I'll put the link in the description for everything that I've got in the video, so you guys can just go in and find it and order it if you'd like. But anyway, so this is size D thread, 500 yards, which will get you through quite a bit of beadwork. So if you just buy, a nice spool like this, you should be good for, just a lot of beading. But anyways, and this is what it looks like. It's super, let's see, it's sort of like it's not like fishing line, but I would probably say that the closest thing to it would be like dental floss, but it's not waxed or anything. You can get yourself like a beeswax candle or something. So while you're beading, you can rub it on there just to get all the little hairs, which will pop out as you're beading. Keep those nice and tight in there so that you don't have just strings going everywhere, and it can be kind of a pain in the butt. And yeah, so that's your beading thread. Okay, now as far as your seed beads come in sizes from, I believe the sizing is 8 through 15. As in the size 8 being the biggest, 15 being the smallest. These here are actually size 11s, which is what I like to use. They're not the smallest seed bead, but they're a decent size, and that's what I like to use. I used to use size 10s, which aren't a whole lot bigger than the 11s, but I like the 11s. It just makes a nice uniform, nice little pattern. I don't know. I just like the 11s. And they come in different forms. You can get the seed beads either like loose and like a tube, or this is a hank. This is how a hank comes. I'm not entirely certain how many beads are on here, like a whole bunch. I'm not really sure. I'm sure that if I look on the website, it probably will tell me how many, and I'll look and maybe put it in the description. I don't know. But this is a hank of seed beads. These ones I actually got from Crazy Crow. These are check seed beads. Now you can buy seed beads at like Walmart, but don't. I don't recommend it. They're usually just oddly shaped, and they just are not very uniform. You really want to order some good quality seed beads. Like these ones here, these ones I got from Crazy Crow. However, these ones here, these little white ones, seem very, very uniform and very nice. And I actually got these ones from off of Amazon, surprisingly. And I'm pretty happy with these ones as well. And they are also check beads. Usually pretty good if you get the the check seed beads. And these are also a size 11. And I will put the link in the description for where I got these ones. And obviously where I got these ones as well. Okay, now as far as beading patterns, you can buy pattern books, obviously, or you can literally just Google. Just Google beading patterns, and you can find some good patterns to get you started here. You know, something to give you ideas to follow. Let's see, there we go. I just Googled literally beading patterns, and all sorts of stuff comes up. You can also look up beading pattern like paper and print that off, and you can just draw up your own patterns, and that's kind of fun. We're just gonna go with, let's see, I'll just do something super simple to show y'all. Come here, we'll just do this one. There we go. We're just gonna do this one and show you guys how to do square stitch. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to do is cut yourself a piece of thread, of the beading thread, you know, a decent length. It doesn't have to be super, super, super long, but, you know, a decent length of thread. And then you're going to thread your little needle. See if I can do this. Come on. There we go. There we go. And then what you're going to do is you're going to make your starter piece, because you have to have a base, and what you can do is once you finish this, you can literally just cut it off, so it doesn't really matter what color it is or anything like that, because you'll use that the next time as your starter piece so that you don't have to do this every time. So let me bring my thing up here, see how many beads there are. 2, 4, 6, 8 beads, so we need 8 beads. I'm just going to go with white just so we can see better. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. We got 2, 4, 6, 8. All right, we got 8 beads. All right, you're gonna pull those all the way down to the end of your thread like so. And you can either like tie a bead here, or if you have so few beads, if you can just hold it like this, it's not that big of a deal. Whoops. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take your first bead and you're going to run it. You're going to take your needle and you're going to put it through that first bead of your 8 down here. Oops, let me get there. Like so. Okay, what I did, I hope you can see this because I'm having issues. But you're going to take and you're going to go through your bottom like so, and then back through the bead like that. So that's, whoops, get back over here, ring light. There we go. Alright, then the next bead you are going to put through the next bead in, I'm trying to get this, in your little row, if I can. There we go. Pull your thread through, and ta-da, and then back through the top, just like the previous one. Like so. There we go. Now we got two beads. And same thing with the next one, and you're going to do that with every bead on the row. Okay, there we go. Now that you have your first little, this will be your starter piece, so, but it's the same thing no matter what. All right, now that you've got your first row, you're going to run your needle back through the bottom row, like so. Whoops. Like so. Run it all the way through. And then you're going to do the same on the top row. Just run your needle back through there. Like so. And there we go. Now we have our starter piece, our very first row of 8 beads. Okay, so we're going to start the very first row, which is here on the oh, you can't see it. Let me move this down. There we go. Which is here on the B. There we go. Is on the B, so it shows 2 blues, but I'm going to use white instead of blue on that. So we're going to put 2 blue beads. So we're just going to use 2, put this in the right order, 2 white beads. And you just go into the bottom bead, face go towards you, like so, and then through the bead that you just put on, you're going to go away from you. So if you always remember towards you, away from you. Next bead, towards you, away from you. Alright, now the next one you put 1 black bead. So I think I'll actually do the black. So we got the 2 whites, which would be the blue, but I'm going to do black. 1 black, remember, towards you. And then away from you. Just like that. So we got 1 black. Alright, now it says yellow, so we're going to do 1 yellow. Towards you. Away from you. Just like so. And then a red bead. Just like that. Towards you. And away from you. There we go. And then you're going to repeat your pattern. Okay, focus. There we go. Alright, you're going to run your needle back through the row below the one that you just did. Now, of course, this is why I like having smaller. The smaller the needle, in my mind, anyway, the better. See, this is, oops. This is a size 12, but I would probably rather have a 13 or 15 just because you can run through. Like that was starting to get a little bit tight. So you can get a size down of thread and a size down of needle. Just so you can run through like a gazillion times if you need to. There we go. Okay, we officially have our first row done. Now we're going to do the next row. Now the next row, it has a black, then our 2 whites, and always remember towards you, if I can find the hole. There we go. Towards you, away from you. Towards you, away from you. That's how you do it. Always towards you and then away from you. Like so. Whoops. Let me get keep my hand up here where it belongs. So you guys can actually see what I'm doing. And then a black. You can probably hear my cow in the background saying, I want snacks. Well, don't let her fool you. She just had snacks. She doesn't need any more snacks. She thinks she needs more snacks. But she doesn't need any more snacks. Alright, and then make sure that you go through the row below. The row that you just did. And like I said, I really need a, oops, let me get in the camera. I really need a smaller needle, but I didn't get a smaller needle, so this is a little bit tight for running through multiple. Like I said, I would much rather have probably like a 15, like the smallest. I would get like the smallest needle that you can get to do, oops, to do this. And sometimes if you can't get it through the whole row, you can get it pulled through half of the row, like that, and then finish the other half. And just push it through the second half. Because sometimes you just can't get it through the whole thing. Like so. And this is quite tight. Like I said, I wish I would have purchased smaller needles. Okay, so if you cannot fit through a bead for some reason, if your bead is too small, like mine is right here, I can't get through this little black one right here. What you can do is go down into the bead that is on the row below it. Can you see what I'm doing? There we go. Alright, the bead that is below it, and just slide your needle through there, like so. There we go. And then go ahead and go back up to the next row and just push through. Like that. There we go. And then back through the row that you just did. Woo! I hit my camera. Ta-da! Alright, so we have our first 2 rows done. Okay, I didn't get this in the previous video because it was out of frame, but when you finish your beadwork, how you want to finish it off is you're going to just run through a few of the beads, like so. So do like 2 or 3 here, and then go down to the next row and do 2 or 3 there. Or 1, we'll just do 1. Doesn't really matter, you're just tying it in. Like so, and then maybe down 1 more, just to make sure that it's good and tied in so it doesn't pull out. And once again, like I have repeated throughout this video, my needle and thread could use a size down or a size up, as the numbers go up, not down. Okay, so that's how you will end it off. Okay, so then you're going to cut. You just cut the thread off, like so. And you trim all the little threads that are on there. And then what I'll show you do is, if you aren't done and you need to add thread back on, if you run out of thread, you do the same thing as you do if you want to finish it off. Woo! You're just going to take and you're going to run your needle through a couple of beads, like so, and weaving your way up. To the row that you're working on, and voila, you have added thread to it, and then you just continue beading, and yeah, there you go. Sorry, had a needle in my mouth. Go as close to the beadwork as possible and snip off all of your excess thread, like that. And then this, because this was the starter piece, not actually part of the pattern, you just cut it off like so. Boop, there we go. And there you have it. There's your little piece of beadwork. And this here, like I said, this is your starter piece for the next time that you make beadwork, so you don't have to do that again. And eventually this will get full of thread and you will have to make another one, but you can just pull these threads out that are kind of hanging, and that'll help keep it open for the next beading project. And there you go. And there's your little piece of beadwork. Voila! Are you impressed? I'm impressed.